Peace, 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 love, and eternal power. Peace, unlimited love, and eternal power. What's good, everyone? I am Source Energy, God Coach King Malik, and my young God Kings. I am one of the universe's best examples of unlimited love and eternal power. We're here. We want to share some love. I'll let the young kings, introduce themselves.
First, Crisis Creations, Wise Flow. Much love to everybody. Anybody who tuning in, greatly appreciate it.
Amir McCullers, the Amir Sphere. I will the best to everybody who watches the content. Okay, that echo on there.
You got to cut something off. Okay, come on, keep it moving.
But God bless you
My name is Malik Color. And I'm beyond grateful to be in this. I know everything I'm able to, be here to be able to speak and, just the experiences and everything. I'm beyond grateful. Just ready for life change. And thank you all for joining.
Please like and subscribe. We touch in. Y'all gonna get no, it's not down. Okay, let's get it.
Dude, you got
Whoever don't got their device plugged in to a headphone jack.
Okay, go ahead and plug out that so we can get going.
anybody got a random auxiliary cord?
Should have had this ready to start. Go in a different way or something. Mute your thing or something. Okay, come on. Keep it moving. What?
Let me see. Maybe Amir McCullers, also known as Revolutionary. Well, until you continue to enjoy every single second of your lives, space where we can continue to raise your vibration, shift your consciousness, and reinstill self-awareness.
Okay. I totally apologize about all of that echo because it sounds terrible. You need to do something.
That's not mine.
Okay.
Yeah, that might be.
Y'all, come on.
You have one? Plug it in. Hurry up. Plug it into your device. Yeah, just do it. It'll curb the echo.
Looks like we're gonna have to edit part of this video, but we're gonna get to it. We got some good information. I know I do.
Me
So
too.
from the experiences that I've gone through, I would love to share this information because I feel like I know what all melanated men should know about themselves based upon me being, 5 decades and close to a half, and still being in a space where I get it and I see things as they are and how they constantly seem to increase change. Throughout the process, I've had to reinvent and change thought, beliefs, everything, and get a perception that actually goes with the flow of the universe because we're totally directed in a different direction of clarity on how we're supposed to be out here because of everybody just being, giving us the wrong direct information because they had it. For whatever reason, we're not going to get all off into the low part. We're going to stick with the part that I can share that will assist, us all to a better space, if applied. And I can say that because I apply it and I have proof, just my receipts on myself and my seeds and my experience, my life and the people who know me, these are the things that I know to do. Okay, so you all can continue on with, sharing who you are.
Come on, fellas.
I can barely hear you. That's all right.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Pull the mic up. You got to get closer to it. Put the mic up right to you.
Camilla McCullers, also known as the Chameleon. I want to think you enjoy this the information I was sharing with you. I want to respect everything we have and now.
Hey, you could tell he's familiar because he's definitely in there shade. He speaks very soft but very, very strong. Like that's yeah, a good man. Okay,
Uh,
so that's
yeah,
it.
I was feeling better. Mine. What do you play your audio?
Oh, it's turned out. I had like at first, but
Connect the headphones to your phone.
Okay.
Yeah, can I
Yeah,
have
because
some?
you're echoing. You're still echoing.
Cause it'll take that reading.
all right.
Those are good microphones, so they're gonna pick up every little thing.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and use the mic and the headphones. There you guys go. There you go. It sounds much better. Okay, so let's get to it. Okay, let's get to it. We 7 minutes in and we haven't been doing anything but having technical difficulties. So you guys can hear me. Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So we don't have as much of an echo as we did, but we do have a little echo. So if y'all hear y'all can hear me now, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Oh, and
sir.
everybody's clear. That's much better. Okay.
Yeah, because I might plug his auxiliary cord into his cell phone.
Come on.
No, I don't got no. I had to connect the Bluetooth because
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
got
that's
no
better.
cord.
Okay, whatever you got, like just that's cool. We good now.
Exactly.
Okay, so y'all know what it's about. Okay, it's about what all melanated men should know about themselves, and I wanted to share from, life's experience, and as well as just from the perspective of, you know, just life's examples, like my personal experience and examples that I see in life. And if you've been around, if you pay attention to detail a little bit, you could see how things have changed. If you're 20 years old, if you're 30 years old, if you're 40 years old, if you're 50 or more, that you could really, relate to what I'm saying. Excuse me.
Your excuse.
Yeah. So, what I say is from experience. I've been through a lot. 54 years old, have 12 children, 11 in the home, 7 kings, 4 queens. Uh, rightfully, happily married, caregiver to 2 parents, 79 years old. I know y'all hear that all the time, but it's important for me to express that because it's a serious dynamic in terms of having to, set a tone on how you have to carry yourself and how you have to really look at how it's best to look at life. Because I'm not going to tell anyone how they have to. I'm just going to share some things that I know work because they're working for me and they allowed me to, get a better grip on me as a person and willfully, rightfully a better influence on my kings and my queens, the people who know me, my gods and goddesses, the people who, respect or have anything to do with me, and the people that I cross paths with, and the people that I come in contact with, and who we become family with, because that's a co-creation process that's constantly going on. So we're going to get to it. What all, young melanated men should know about themselves. And this is all young melanated men. This is all men in general, but I'm saying melanated because I am. And if you look at the screen, all of mine are. And no offense to anyone else, but all of us, if you got 1%, like they've always told us since I was born, 1968, if you got 1%, then it makes you all the way. It's like they came up with all this different stuff. And I get it and I respect whoever feels like, and I'm not disrespecting anybody else's culture because I understand and respect and I love life and I love the creation within it. And once I explain to you what I know, all young melanated men should know about themselves. And I feel like it's a good possibility you would, feel the same because, first of all, you need to know to love yourself, and this is a process because we don't come here with that, no examples of that. We come here with, someone loving us with a clause. You know what I'm saying? And that's everybody. That's our mamas, our daddies, if those people are around, it's a clause. They show you love, but they have rules. They have, judgment. They have ways that they did things and you got to do them the same way, or it's a different process or understanding of things. That's a whole different thing. Okay. And you loving yourself, first of all, when you understand, when you overstand and you understand that you are one with the creator, the most high, Ra, God, Allah, whatever name you have put on the creator, you're one with that. And that is in the flesh But in the spirit, you're one with that. In the flesh, you're just the vessel having the experience and having the power still as, the creator as such, but in a different way, in a way that, we come here and have this physical experience. And when you go through enough, you realize it's more of a spiritual experience. Just you have to do some physical activities in order to really, grow throughout the spiritual experience. You know what I'm saying? It's like a real process because we're here all as one, separately but together, and we're supposed to be collectively helping each other when we were kind of like driven to kind of like not help each other and be it was a lot of things driven against us, the melanated young men, to start with. And we're not going to get all off into that because that's a known fact. Everybody knows what the story is. If you don't, all you got to do is Google, what happened to black people. I don't even do the black people thing no more because we've never been black. We're melanated. You know what I'm saying? No matter how dark we are, and respect to that. I'm not trying to say I'm not black because I don't want to have to. I'm not going to get into a debate about that. I'm just saying in the sense of us all being the oneness of the original creation, and everything had to come from us. It doesn't matter about anything else, and it shouldn't at this point. For me, it doesn't because of my experiences. So that's what we represent here temporarily, just human, this little avatar. We get this, go through this process, and you get to choose how you get to do it. But it's through a lot of processes. The second thing I would say, first, you can, because of you being one with source and you being source here, walking the planet, you can do anything that you set your mind to, any and everything you set your mind to, because we're energy beings and it's vibration that you decide on levels. Thought is vibration. Everything within the thought range that you think of, and you're vibrationally attached, and you can physically, have it if that is your choice. So, in that, know that you are one with the source. Know that you're the temple. You get the opportunity. You have a temple that is it's amazing. You get to think. You got a brain. You got a body. You get to think. You get to think whatever you want, and can't nobody look at you and tell you what you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? They can't. So you got a weapon that is, of mass, control. You can do a lot. You can control your experience for real, but you have to really gather these things and realize, yeah, you can do anything you set your mind to. I don't care what you see around you. I don't care what you saw, because I grew up in some times where, I saw a lot, and I wouldn't have, I didn't, if I didn't know, if I wasn't told early that I could do everything I set my mind to, then I probably would have a harder time dealing with a lot of things, or had a harder time dealing with the things that I've dealt with. And I haven't had a very easy life, but thinking about it, it hasn't been very hard compared to some of the people that I, encounter and have experienced as a result of my life. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Follow your first mind, because again, you know what I'm saying? Again, okay? So you can do anything you set your mind to because you're one with. Your first mind is your source. It's your intuition. That is the key element to everything. And the more you, focus on being balanced and, being, kind and respectful to the fact that you love yourself, it's going to automatically make you love others. It's going to automatically make your intuition, increase, and it will make it where people that come around that mean you no good, you will automatically feel it. Do not distrust your intuition. Do not ever go against your first mind or your intuition. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to the detail of everything that is around you. Melanated man, young brothers, young sisters too. Like, but I'm talking to the men. Pay attention to all the things around you. Pay attention to how people talk to you. Pay attention to looking people in the eyes when they're speaking to you. Feel the energy. Feel the feel the vibe of what they're saying, because people can talk you out your stuff. They could be telling you something and it sounds so sweet, but their body language will tell you something totally different. And if you recognize that, it's a glitch in the matrix. Don't trust the shit. Do what follow your intuition. Don't be out here playing with yourself, because it's life. This situation is once throughout this, until you can quantum jump, you can do what you want, but this situation here until this avatar is done is once, and you can literally control it by having control of your thought process in the sense of paying attention to detail. You know what I'm saying? Paying close attention to detail,
Yes,
because
sir.
in all actuality, there is no wrong answer to anything that is confirmed by your intuition. So if something comes across your thing, you could be all the way ready. It could be the contract you about to sign, you about to get that million. If something hits you at all, you know what I'm saying, and you have been doing yourself right in terms of taking care of your thought process and doing, then your intuition is telling you something about what you're about to do. So you might want to back up and do a little more research. Just don't take nobody's word for shit. Don't always read everything. Somebody put something in front of you, hey, sign this. Don't sign anything, young brothers. Don't sign anything. Don't sign anything. I'm talking about, because already, there's contracts all on you already. So like, don't sign anything. You know what I'm saying? Unless you have a clear understanding of what it is and if it's going to benefit you and your family, then you know what to do. Because listen, you're responsible for all your thoughts. Good, bad, and indifferent, high, low. In the middle. You are responsible for your thoughts and your actions that come as a result of your thoughts. The universe is not going to give you a break if do and say some stupid if you do something, if you think something stupid, more than likely it's going to attract something stupid for you to respond to, or something off balance. Let's not even call it stupid. It will cause something off balance to make you have to deal with it, because the universe is giving us exactly what we're putting out, what we're asking for, especially, you know what I'm saying, to prove if we're ready. Like, and it is what it is. Without any word, just follow your intuition like it is. Always know that no one owes you. No, excuse me. No one owns you. No one owns you. Like when you get, you have a relationship with your mother and father, your parents don't own you. Now, I'm not going to tell you, if you younger people get on here and want to say, this man told me that y'all don't own me and this, that, and the other. I'm not saying from that perspective. I'm saying ownership for real. They don't. They're responsible for you, and they are cooperative components for your existence, especially if it's a parent or if it's somebody that's even taking care of you. They're responsible, for that part, but no one owns you. Like, you own yourself, you own your thoughts, and your freedom comes from you inside out. Like, you are one with the source, you are one with God, you are the walking God. Like, you are here for the purpose of doing what the creator would do. You see, the creator, if you think about it, the creator has created all these beautiful things. Look outside, take a breath. Look at all the beautiful people. Look at all the, when you happy, look at the happiness, look at the sadness, but look at when you sad and when you get happy after the sadness or something that happens. It's always something good that comes after that. But at the same time, when something good happens, you have to be braced and prepared for something equally, low. And it doesn't have to happen immediately, but it's just the way the yin and the yang works. Like, you have to be able to put yourself in a space where you understand. And this is for us as melanated men, because we deal with a lot of things that have been placed against us, but it's in our thought process as well. Because if we could get a better grip on our own thoughts, then we could get a better grip on the situations around us. Because as long as we're figuring like this shit is against us, which I'm not saying it is not against us, because it's common sense that it's been against us. It's been against your daddy, your mama, your granddaddy. It's been against our whole system ever since we were originally created. Whatever happened, obviously they were against us, and that's just the shit has proven itself. So it's for us to really take control of our own process, because knowing that now you can really have an understanding of yourself, or understanding of yourself by, going inside and trusting, looking up at the stars. Don't you know, looking at the stars and the sun and the moon, it just moves you. If you knew nothing about any of that, it would make you wonder about all of that. And I'm gonna tell you, just it feels like for me, it's important that no one owns you, so you can feel free to look, think, see, and be who you are. Okay, but understand this as well: no one owes you. No one owns you, but definitely no one owes you anything. I don't care what you. I don't care. Like, I understand about the the process of you know our people supposed to get money for whatever happened to us and stuff like that. Okay, I applaud, respect, and everything if that were to ever happen. And I'm not saying, hey, we don't deserve it or nothing. I'm not putting myself in no space like that. I'm just saying in terms of how the power that we have now, understanding that the mind is where our thought process and who what we are here physically. You don't need anything outside of that. I mean, it'd be great to have a physical assist, but at the same time, you can create a physical assist by thought and by action of carrying yourself a certain way, just being in a certain vibration. You know what I'm saying? It's very important, because it's important for us brothers. It's important, young brothers especially. We moving fast, man. I've been moving fast. I've always been like young in my spirit. Young. I've been old in my character, but young in my spirit for all my life. And I've always had elders. I've always rode with older people. So I have this different thing going on. That even though I'm in my 50s, I don't feel older than my 20s, but I think like I'm 60 or 70. Like, I really have been through a lot, and I can adjust these experiences. I know I've had to learn how to be compassionate in a place of anger, and in a place of certain things. Now I know my intuition tells me when to swing. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. It's like, you're gonna, as a man, I realize you're never gonna get out of battle. The battle is gonna be when you the change, I guess, is gonna be when you make the transition. But as far as being here, doing the work in terms of being a man, and then being a father and a husband and a caregiver to your parents, or doing anything, being responsible for yourself, like, because loving yourself, that's a deal, man. That's a deal when nobody loves you, when you're hated, and when it seems like when you love yourself more and more, it seems like more people hate you. You know what I'm saying? The more you love yourself, the more people hate you. They seem to look at you and can't stand you because you starting to love what you see. Keep loving what you see. To hell with what somebody's saying, what they think about all of that, because it doesn't matter. Okay, so the last thing I said was, always know that no one owns you, nor do they owe you, because you really earn what you get via your work ethic or your thought process, or both. You know what I'm saying? So it's all thought process, because thought processes generally make you do something, and hey, attract something that might have to have you not having to do something, because you just vibrated to the right space. But that's a whole different thing. But it works all together if you're doing these things. So in the process of all that, you need to learn to meditate, calm your mind. That's what is like the most important thing, I think, for us, because of us speeding and doing all kind of stuff. We need time to ourselves. I mean, we need a couple of hours, for real. If you I know I have had to have it, because I've had to adjust my life to be able to really get straight. And I'd take an hour and a half, 2 hours a morning before I even set foot to the light, like, you know what I'm saying, to make sure I get myself together spiritually, because it's a process. This is nothing easy about this process. It's really interesting. I mean, no, let me rephrase that. It's nothing there's nothing hard about it. It's very easy once you become consistent, but it's nothing to play with. It's nothing. It's all serious about the process, because that's the only way I've been able to get to progress, like to go forward at all. So I've learned to meditate, and tell you, it doesn't take much. If you can quiet your mind, if you can't quiet your mind, do something. Find you a certain sound, some frequencies, and they got so many on YouTube that you can literally YouTube meditation frequencies for anything. If you want to be money, if you want to get your heart right, if you want to do anything, it's all kind of YouTube. And then we got a network, that's coming, and some of the stuff that we've already posted got a few meditations, and just leads to meditation and stuff like that. So you know get at that, and it's easy to do once you start doing it, and you're going to want to do it. It's a process that really, once you calm your mind and you realize you can push some thoughts that don't matter away, and you let them come in, you let them go away, and you realize that's the same way you can do them when you're not meditating. You know what I'm saying? Because you let thoughts, when you meditate, thoughts are coming up, but you let those thoughts go by. And even if it's something you got to deal with, you just give it love and give it peace and just give it, no, it's going to go by. If it don't kill you, it's going to give you strength, and it's just going to make you learn something. So along with meditation, this is one of the things that I do. I got this deal that I do for the mirror every day, and I call it the race. You know what I'm saying? It's the race. You go to the mirror for 15 minutes, and this is after really you start to meditate. You know what I'm saying? Somebody disconnected. Okay, cool. This is after, well, not even after. You can start this now because this might assist you to, begin meditation long, and get longer at it. But it's called race. You go to the mirror for 15 minutes. You reflect, you accept what see, you make the correction, and you emerge to a higher vibration. Daily, you do this because when you're looking at yourself and it's a race. It's a race to the finish because by the time you have adjusted to the fact of whatever it is you sincere about in your heart, you might be crying like a little girl. You might be, you might feel a burst of energy. You might feel, like I got to do something for somebody. Something's going to kick in and it'll initiate other things in the vibration energy of. See, this is what it does for me, and it does this for me, regularly. So I know that it works. That's why I want to share. Never, 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 ever, never, ever, never disrespect nobody. You know what I'm saying? Don't disrespect no other human being because you never know what someone is going through. And, being in certain spaces and, like intentionally. I'm saying don't disrespect anybody intentionally because some people are disrespected just because you tell them the truth. You can't help someone being sad or mad or feel some kind of way because you tell them the truth. That's a whole different perspective of life. Let them deal with that. Just but blatantly don't intentionally disrespect another person. I'm not saying go accepting shit, and if somebody does something to you, you do something back and that's disrespect. No, no, no. That's responding. That's protecting yourself. That's understanding that we must show unlimited love, but at the same time, you don't love no enemy. Like I don't. That's a false premise. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't even work with the universal law. The laws say we attract what we are. So love wouldn't attract an enemy. You know what I'm saying? And if you go trying to love an enemy, and I'm not saying for those who do, respect. If it works for you, respect. That's the universe's laws that we don't have control over. You put enough energy into something, I say we can do everything we set our minds to. So I'm just saying for me, it has not worked. And I look as for our culture, it has not worked. For, I'm dealing with the elders who have had to deal with things that they learned when back in the 50s and 60s, and they haven't budged really from the even belief system. And even though things change in front of them, like, like just like that, it's still like some of them are dead set on, the thought process. And it's really interesting to have to go through the process dealing with that energy in any facet. But when you look at how many people are caught up in the sense of the fears, the things that they didn't give us as melanated men, didn't tell us that we were one with source. They didn't give us no idea. They told you just the opposite. They told you were owned by something. They told you were everything other than what you are. That's what they told you, to get you off the frequency so that you would not be in the space to assist yourself to greatness and to keep our women where they needed to be. They were good at the whole manipulation process. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and it's still there. It's not for us to be, I don't feel like I'm in a space, necessary to, I'm not going to change that. We can change it by changing us. You know what I'm saying? We could do very well by going inside and doing these things that I'm saying, like the things that I've already said, what to do. This is knowing yourself. Everything is a know to yourself. You got to know to pay attention to detail. You got to know to always know that no one owns you and no one owes you. You know what I'm saying? You got to know to exercise. You got to know to meditate. You got to know to do these things, because if you don't, it's going to be a hard process. I used to believe to do them. I never did. I never was consistent. I'm grateful that I, was in Islam as long as I was, because it made me consistent. But it also made me consistent doing intentions every day. And as I did intentions, I kept seeing signs of things more, larger than the books that I'm reading and the books that I've read. And, and then I got into more, clarity. And now it's just the knowing, like, what you know. And once you connected to it, and this happens, in the process of the resurrection, just like brother Dr. B Sirius was saying, it's like this is the process of right now, the 21st through the 25th, of what's happening. It's the whole Christian concept of, Christian get Jesus and the resurrection, and then all of that. It's all in the energy. It was not in the concept, it's in the energy. But what we have to do is just throughout this process, from now until then, however you get down, just be as peaceful, as loving, as understanding, and go with the flow. Because this is the time today they said the holiday they said this was for that anyway, and they celebrating what should be like one of the most important times. So I respect all of that part for the concept of it, because the energy and the love that goes forth, it don't know the difference. You know what I'm saying? The universe is off top of it. It goes off the love. It's not going off the other stuff. Like, so we gonna love and show love and receive love and do all of that. It's just that I'm not saying, don't do the nonsense. Know your enemy. We're not going to love them. We're just going to know them, so we know how to strategically deal with them. They'll respect us more that way. If the enemy knew you, he wouldn't try you. You know what I'm saying? If he knew you knew him, he wouldn't try you as much. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you get into a certain space. It's just when they know you, they wouldn't try you as much, because they know that you're just, you're in a different space. And it's enough people to try. I mean, it's enough people that don't know. You know what I'm saying? Know that you get what you put out. Like, if you putting out the positive energy, then that's what we're getting back. And this is what melanated men need to really know. Like, okay, I would tell you to know, man, the system is against you. Know that man, that's not the energy, man. The energy is, that's what you hear and see every day. Know that you must put some positive stuff into your system for your system to give positive things back. And that's like the reading, that's the food, that's the exercise, that's the atmosphere, that's the individuals. Hey, lose all the toxic energy. Anybody that's around you with the bullshit energy, let them flow. Let them flow. Let them go. Don't even, you could love from a distance. You know what I'm saying? Because more than likely, if someone is around you and they're in that kind of space, they're not there to assist you to your greatness. They're if they're influencing you to do the same thing all over, it sounds like they're influencing you to insanity. You know what I'm saying? So those few things that we do, that we can do, are very simple. Like, you know what I'm saying? Know that you're one with the source that makes you the source here physically, with the power of the source spiritually, and you don't have to go outside of that. It is no, and then I'm going to give this quick synopsis, because it's a few books that we all should have read, that are basically common sense, but they fit so much with the universe's laws and how the creator has set forth these things. Like, just knowing certain things about yourself. If you knew, okay, I'm gonna go off me. If I knew, like, that I was God, like the source, one with the creator and one with the universe, my elements were the same. If I would have known that when I was 4, when my mom told me that I could do anything I set my mind to, because it's two different things. Now, she told me I could do anything I set my mind to, so I focused on that. So when I was challenged, I always overcame that, and that's been the process of me being able to create what I want, and how just my family, my life, everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? I see what's going on with that part, and I really respect, and I'm utterly grateful for her telling me that, because had she not told me that, I could have possibly been in a different space. Now, I didn't see anything about Christianity or anything about church until I was probably 8 or 7. And that's when my mom had to send me to my grandmother's house for, just one grade, because her and my father were going through it, and they were, just whatever. She didn't want me to go through it with them. And that's when I was, like, kind of terrorized by church. Like, no offense, because the energy inside of a church really felt strange to me. Everything about the church felt strange to me. And then when I was there, I think they had a funeral there, and they made us all go, because it was a member of the church, and I didn't even know the person. But that I wasn't, the only people had died in my life was my grandmother, and she died with a smile on her face. So that was different. And then the other experience was my uncle. It was very different. But as a result, I don't even go to funerals. You know what I'm saying? Because I could remember somebody alive because I know we never died. That part is just what it is. But getting back on it, she told me that I could do anything I set my mind to. So I have been able to do that. That's God. That's what she needed to tell me for me to understand that. So when I came back, still we didn't ever go to church, and then we lived in Motown. I saw my parents partying and doing all kind of stuff. We literally lived in Motown. She was related to a Temptation, so we were really in the middle of that. And as a child, I grew up right in the middle of that. So it's like I had a different experience, and at the same time, okay, so my parents separated and divorced, and it gave me all of these things to that I didn't know. Like I didn't know anything because I didn't know. Being young, you don't know. No guidance other than my mom's guidance, and that was pretty much the only assistance that when she was always working, always doing whatever she had to do to take care of us. So, but that's pretty much a few things, but it's still more things like in because I want to share this. It's like when we get to the point where we understand that it is up to us to really make the decision to take control of our life, and that's I don't care when you are because I've met young men who go through things really early in life, and because as a result of that they want change. They don't, they want change. They see a lot of people dying around them and just they want change. So I've seen a lot of younger people now take action quicker than older people because the older cats are more set in their ways. And half of them you can't reason with them. And I pretty much learned even in my bracket of age, I'm very different than the people my age. And my family members, I love all of them to death. I have nothing against anybody who believes their way because love is what it is. Love is love. Like it don't matter who and how you believe. Like in that sense, if you truly understand the concept of loving yourself, you will truly be able to love those around you and those who love you. I'm not saying that you'll be able to love an enemy because that's not the concept to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not preaching that concept to hate people because I'm not saying hate your enemy. I'm saying know your enemy so you'll know how to keep yourself in a straight and balanced perspective in your own vibration. Okay, so it's just a few things that are common sense. Like we do qigong, and it's qigong is like yoga, the tai chi, like a martial art, but it's very very old and it's very therapeutic and it helps. You know what I'm saying? I'm just sharing because it has helped my family, and my mother has had cancer. She's had stage 4 cancer, and she's been doing hundreds of days of she on like 116 or some days of qigong, and she's like she doesn't have any issues with her body pain like she was having before. No chemo, no nothing. Dealing with it like a champ. Just dealing with memory issues, which that's just a whole nother thing. But it's about that. But in that process, is 5 elements of that. And I want to share those elements because I feel like these 5 elements, and then it's 4, agreements. It's a book called The 4 Agreements that actually share just basic agreements. But once you get to a point where you're doing some of the steps that I mentioned earlier in this live, if you're doing some of those steps, like really knowing who you are, respecting, paying attention to detail, honoring and, being respectful to others, never disrespecting, and you're taking responsibility for your stuff and all of that, you're doing all those things, it's like you're going to get a reward from these things, these small things you can do. Understand that you must be happy. Find happiness. Don't deal with no females or nothing that's telling you bullshit. Don't deal with the energy of the female that is, that's putting you down. If your mama putting you down, love her and, you know, find a different way to, deal with her because the mother is the one. Like I'm an only child. My mom, I've been breaking curses since I've been a child from my mom. And it's not negative because she didn't know that she was placing curses on me. She didn't know that she was setting none of these spells on me. When I just realized as I grew up and started doing more research on life and realizing, like I said, these things that I'm sharing for what I know we need to know about ourselves. If we knew these things about ourselves and share with your sons and share with little bros, young bros out here, really, really I mean, just another perspective of thought. I know you got a lot of people like, man, fuck that. I ain't trying to hear none of that because it don't make sense to what we doing. We out here with these switches. We got these all of this. We doing what we doing. Man, I'm telling you, it still applies. The universe is still the universe. We're in a cycle because of the vibration. You dig what I'm saying? It's like that's what it is. I command that my energy for my seeds, as for sure, as well as all those who come in contact with me and people just in general. You know what I'm saying? I command that the power that I have is unlimitedly pressed on those who will receive, you know what I'm saying, and those who can receive. But the elements, like I said, one is to be happy, you know what I'm saying, be happy, because it's something to be happy for, even if it's, like I said, it's a yin and a yang. If you can find something sad to think about, you can equally find something happy, even if it's a looking at a little child or a puppy or a bird or something. I mean, doing something that's very simple, like somebody cracking some stupid jokes. I mean, some jokes that but they are just people that are funny. It's ways to be happy. It's ways to find happiness. I don't care, because you can find sadness. You find sadness by dealing with the people you deal with, knowing that you don't like them, but you deal with them anyway. Like that's that avoiding happiness type thing, if you ask me. So be happy, like find happiness. You know what I'm saying? Be happy. Melanated men, especially, don't let nobody put you down. Don't let nobody, because they have a personal feeling about themselves, let them press that on you. That's your daddy, your uncles, your granddaddies, the preacher, the people that tell you that you're supposed to be and do something else. Just feel your intuition. Let it tell you the best, because when you know who and what you are, it doesn't matter your age. I promise you, the universe will give you the clarity and everything you need to move forward, and you'll be on some high flying in the space you need to be before you need to do it. Especially, before you need to get there. Before you know it. Excuse me. It's especially when you're sincere and committed. Okay, so be joyful. Create joy. Like, make people around you happy. If it's just smile at people, a smile. I don't care what someone looks like when they smile at you. It's just like, that's the start my internal love engine. That's what they say in Qigong. That's what Jenny Lin says. Start my internal love engine. Man, that's when you have an antonym for something, you think about it and you like start it up and you want to start everybody up, just smile at everybody. And then if you're a handsome or a pretty face, like you got a handsome face, or a female got a pretty face, not promiscuously or anything like that. Don't lead nobody on, but hey, man, everybody need a smile, like elders especially. Do some kind stuff, and be content with where you are, because I promise you, no matter where you are, that's where you're supposed to be. I don't care how hard you've been working for something, or how hard you think you've been working for something. I don't care what you think you deserve, who you think owe you. Where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. If it were not the case, you would be someplace else. Flat the fuck out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's the reality of this whole avatar, this whole matrix. It's you place yourself where you are, like vibrationally, through your thoughts and through your actions. This is truly what is happening with us right now. We don't have a man, it's hey, look, all I could do is say what from my own experience. So I'm saying, be happy, be joyful, be content about where you are, and you don't have to accept being in no bad space. Now, I'm not saying, be low value or no low, vibrational. I'm saying be content knowing that if you're at the bottom, you can't do nothing but go to the top, unless you like a, crab or something, unless you like a what swim at the bottom of the a catfish or something.
Starfish.
Star. Unless you stay on the bottom, unless you just want to. But naturally, for real, naturally, you rise after falling. Because and then you fall after rising, and how hard you fall depends on how you handled when you were risen, when you were high. Like, you do a lot of good things while you're in the high space. I feel like when the time comes for you to have to deal with something that is low, it may not even affect you, because you've established yourself in such a high vibration where life and the universe has automatically got an escrow for you. When you think about it, you get it in escrow. You physically get it when you line up to it vibrationally, when you accept the fact that you are who you are, what you are, how you create what you create, and all the things that exist in that process, you know. So it is what it is. Be peaceful. Be peaceful because peace, you know, exuberates, you know, love. It kind of like it's it's one and the same but two different things, because peaceful, you could not love somebody and be peaceful with them, but peace can cause you to, you know, build love with someone. Just being at peace, especially when it's a misunderstanding and you come to peace. I've had some situations where I got into some stuff, and melanated men, we do this, brothers. Let's admit this. We'll get into it with somebody we don't even know because they looking at us, and we might look familiar, but by the time you respond to them a certain way, they be like on some nigga, what you looking at now? What you look before you even, if you don't give them a chance to say, oh, you look like you look. It's a special type of brother that tone it down, be like, oh, my bad, bro, you look like my family member. You look like this brother I know, or something like that. Because half of the time we out here on kill mode, which is we need to know that we don't, you know, we don't gain anything by killing ourselves, because every last one of us that you look at, you know, you pretty much looking at yourself, and whatever thought you have, that is the thought, that is the mirror, man. That's the mirror. And if you go to the mirror, you'll see it, though. I guarantee you get into a situation and you can't control your shit, and you get out of it and you go home and get in that mirror, I bet you're gonna see the exact same person that you got into the altercation jump out the mirror at your ass. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be like, yeah, that's, I mean, I'm saying from my own experience, because we are the energy that we carry. Like, we put it out there, and if you're willing to accept it, a big deal. What we need to know, men, brothers, we need to be responsible for our thoughts, and we need to know this about ourselves. We need to know that we got powers that we never even tapped into. And now that the universe and we're in time that we're in, we're getting these powers even if we're not asking for them. There's a lot of people who are, they not seeking no consciousness, but they still got power. They still got this creative power, because the power is in the, you know, coming from a whole different space now. It's like, you know, I can't explain it all. I know that it is, though. And since it is, I'm just utilizing mine and learning how to, you know, continue to use it, living my legacy so that I can truly leave an inheritance, because it's not easy. Well, it is easy. Like, I don't want to say it's not easy. Okay. I want to make sure I rephrase that. It is a
Good challenge.
serious process, and you have to be consistent. Good challenge. You can call it that as well. It's a good process to be consistent and see the progress in, you know, people that you're responsible for, or anything that you're responsible for. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what it is. I have a major responsibility to myself first. Everything that comes after that is a more major responsibility, because it comes as a result of me, how I carry with myself. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it is what it is. So be happy, be joyful, be content, be peaceful, and most of all, like, this is the main thing, and this is what you should be doing first. Be grateful. Be grateful for the fact that you are, you know, the deciding factor to everything that happens in your life, for real. When you really, even when you really accept it, when you know, go through things, you know, you could put it off on somebody else. You can be around somebody and they could be the cause of something you think, but you knew better than to be around them. So you had some kind of sign. You maybe just didn't look at it. But if we really want to research and be honest with ourselves, we'll see that there's nothing that we don't attract and cause on ourselves. So, you know, but when you're grateful, it's like you get to experience more things to be grateful for. Like, you know, same thing works the opposite way, but gratitude seems to pay back more. It's like you be grateful for the smallest thing, you got something else to be, something else bigger happen, and then something bigger happen. It's same, it works the same going downward. Like, you'd be dissatisfied or, you know, some kind of way about something, seem like the negative stuff start rolling like a snowball effect. And, you know, a downhill snowball effect. And I ain't talking about the snow like coming off of it, like, you know, melting. I'm talking about that shit is
Building up.
yeah, exactly. So it's like we're in a space where we really control that. So those are the elements of this specific qigong that we do, and it's happiness, joy, contentment, peace, and gratitude. And I'm thinking, okay, those five elements, just like for real, as a melanated man, like me thinking, okay, and I'm not, I can't think from the eyes and perspective of nobody else's culture. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one race. Nobody's different than us. Everybody came from us. It's one race. It's the human race, and we're the original form of it. That's fact. That is what it is. We're not gonna argue that. I'm not even gonna debate that. Everybody can be in their bag about it. It's respect. It's love. But what it is it's facts. Okay. So since that is the case, I'm gonna focus on the fact that since I know that's the part here physically, the main thing is that we all possess the spirit that is connected to the one. We have a spirit and a soul that is connected to one, and we have access to utilize that as we choose by our thoughts and our actions, and we get to place it in different levels of this quantum as we go, and we're in different quantums according to the different vibrational thoughts and stuff we have. It's a very, very interesting and intriguing process. But when you get past the religion and the church and the books and all of that, it makes more sense than that stuff. And then when you see a fact or two or three or four or five or a whole, book of things that prove that you were given, information that contradicted everything that you were created to, do. And then as you grew up, I grew up with special powers. I always talked to myself. I always had imaginary friends. I mean, I've told this story several times. I've had I know black people especially, melanated people especially have imaginary friends because our ancestors been stayed with us. They never left. But we were told that they died and they left. You know what I'm saying? But they never left. They never left. They physically transitioned and then they got to a different space. And some of them went straight inside of us. And some of us know that because of the things we do. If somebody would be like, you just like yo such and such. Yeah. It is what it is. It's the energy transmutes, like it's just transferred through and through and through, and the higher you go, the higher you can transfer and you can bring back the higher qualities of life. And I feel like that's what is necessary for us to do. But the elements of qigong, and then I was going to say the Four Agreements is a book that I was suggested to read a while back, and it has become like I can almost, it's almost like it's memorized, like Think and Grow Rich. I read it so many times that I lived the quality of it. I've utilized the processes of it because of the connection to it in terms of different things you learn every time you read it is something different. But the Four Agreements, like, okay, it's agreements that we have with ourselves. And this book I suggest that you read. I don't remember. Can one of y'all quote the author's name or look it up right quick for me? But it's the Four Agreements, and it's the agreement, and it's very detailed, and I'm gonna go very, very simple because it's like, it's something simple, but I know as a melanated man, if we focused on these five elements of happiness, joy, contentment, peace, and gratitude, and that don't mean be no pushover. That don't mean let nobody run over you. None of that stuff says, kiss somebody's ass. None of that stuff says, like follow up or be jealous or cause it. None of that stuff right there causes you to be any kind of way with anybody else. These are the things that you're responsible to do for yourself, like, as a result, so that you can get results. So the first one is to have an impeccable word. And that's a sin-free word. Like, sin-free meaning I understand that sin me. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Thank you.
You
Uh,
you
uh,
are
KS, KKF. Yeah. But yeah,
you're always
appreciate
more than
that. But
welcome.
yeah, that's Don Miguel Ruiz. That's a very, very helpful situation. But impeccable word. Okay, sin is anything you do to yourself. We were told that sin is like if you drink, if you do this, you take drugs, you do this. Yeah, taking drugs, I guess, would be a sin to yourself if you believe it's wrong. But nothing is wrong unless you believe it's wrong for yourself. Now, you know that there are some things that are unhealthy for you. You know the things that are, that they claim do this and do that. You know that these things do exist. That's what they say. They exist. And, it's a lot of people that's suffering as a result of, doing those things. And it's still a belief. It's still a belief. I've met people who really, really like have smoked for it seemed like 60 years, and they strong and healthy. They're not dead. They're not. It is what it is. So I can't say that everybody can do that because it does cause issues elsewhere. I think that all of this is a spiritual thing. I think it still has an effect. It don't have no effect on this vessel because you've channeled yourself to believe that something is not bad for you. I still think it has a mental or spiritual effect on something because it is what it is. But the impeccable word, your word meaning everything to yourself. Like don't do nothing, don't say nothing, don't, what you be responsible to yourself. Like whatever you say you're gonna do it to yourself first, and it'll make you automatically keep your word with others. See, everything is you first. Everything is self first. Everything is inside first. Because when you line up correctly and realize that you are source, it's not hard. Like it's not hard to when you realize that part. The hardest part is accepting that you are that. You are that. I am. I am all that I am. I am that I am. I am. So it is what it is. So in that. Okay, so let your word mean everything to yourself first, and you don't have to worry about if it's going to mean anything to anybody else because you're obligated first inside out first. Okay, so the other one is don't take anything personal. I'm gonna speed it up because I didn't want to go too much over an hour. Okay, so the other is don't take anything personal. As melanated men, we take everything personal because everything has been personal. When shit is on your back and people treat you some kind of way, you can't hardly tell when it's not personal. Like you even when people trying to be nice to you, half of the time you can't feel it. You don't know because we got these blocks up. We got so much stuff going on within our regular situation that we have issues recognizing that unless we do these things that I mentioned, like these things that we need to know about ourselves, like what I mentioned earlier on. If you weren't here, please go back and check it out from the beginning. Like and subscribe it if it helps and share it. But seriously, we gotta don't take nothing personal because I have been guilty of that for a majority of my life. I've had every reason to take everything personal. I thought because it was coming directly from people who should know better. They should know me. They should they know how I am. They know how I am. And so when they come a different way, when they're not in vibrational alignment, I take the shit personal when acting as if they cannot not be in alignment. Like everybody goes out of alignment sometimes. Sometimes people don't have nobody but you to bring the disalignment to. You have to keep your balance so that you can keep the alignment good for you, and it doesn't alter you. Like it doesn't alter anything about your alignment when you're in touch with yours and somebody brings it. Matter of fact, when in most cases, when you respond a certain way, you can assist them to with their alignment getting more balanced. Because this is what the energy does. You can force it on someone. You can force it. I don't give a damn how hard they are. If you and your chi right, man, can't nobody do nothing. It's like somebody coming, they can't do nothing. That's just what it is. So impeccable word. Let your word be impeccable to yourself first. It automatically makes it with everyone else because that's just the general law. Don't take anything personal. That's a hard one for real. But for real, go to the mirror and check yourself on stuff. If you take something personal, go to the mirror and hey, blast it out yourself. Like find out why you take it personal and then, solve it. Like I said, go race to the mirror for the 15 minutes and reflect, accept, correct, and emerge to a different space. Let's work that out. That's what we are here for. We have to get this worked out some kind of way, whatever it takes. And we are familiar with a race of some type. Okay. The third agreement is don't assume or make assumptions about anything. Don't look at no one and make assumptions. Don't look at no one and think they made an assumption about you. Don't make no assumptions about nothing. Like, do not make assumptions. Learn to look at yourself about everything. If you decide to make an assumption, put yourself in the position of whoever you made the assumption about and see if it fits for you. See if it makes any sense, for you. Like in the sense of like, how it applied to you. Like reverse it around because I noticed this is what has helped me. And I'm telling you, for someone who has to hold down what I have, these are things really do work. So and I'm sharing from my soul, from my heart, because I will, and I've commanded already for it to reach who it's supposed to reach. So I know whoever get it is supposed to get it, and that's what it is. So that's where we are. Don't assume, don't make assumptions. That's 3. Okay, so the last one is do your best. Do your best. Don't be a lazy ass. Do your best. I mean, don't be lazy about your thinking. Don't be lazy about cutting a bitch off if she not right, or a dude off if he not right. Don't be lazy about cutting that thought off that continuously makes you, have some kind of issue or something going on in your experience that you're always having to explain to somebody or prove something or you putting yourself in a space that you don't feel balanced in. because when you alignment is off, like you just create more offness. It just everything seems to just roll that way. Like you know what I'm saying. So very correct. Collectively. So impeccable word. Don't take anything personal. Don't assume or make assumptions, and do your best. And the five elements: be happy. Create happiness. Share happiness. Be joyful, share joy, create joy, be content, be grateful. I mean, be content. Excuse me. I was gonna say be grateful for content because the gratitude is one of them. But be content. You know, um, be patient. Be patient with every. I mean, be peaceful. Excuse me. Yeah, peaceful is patient too. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes peace sometimes to be patient. Like you know what I'm saying?
And the other way around.
Yeah, it works both ways. I would say. Some ways more lean to the other way. You know what I'm saying? But
And
and
about
then be. I'm sorry.
everything that you were saying, all the way from the point of start and all the way up to this point, if you're not taking action on any of
Hold
these
on. Let me
things,
hold on before you get started. I just want to finish this last part.
I got you. I
And
got you.
and be grateful. That's the five elements along with the four agreements. And I think if you never had a Bible, you never had a Holy Quran, if you never had nothing but you understood who and what you are, and you could do those five elements, and just I mean, it's moves that go with them, but those are actions that you can create from a thought. And the four agreements, if you agree to them yourself, it won't allow anybody. You'll be like your skin to be thick as leather. Like you wouldn't have nothing would be able to affect you. You would be able to move through this experience with flawless. Like low. You have very minimal low, vibrational experiences. You know what I'm saying? So those are just some of the things, and I'm going to come back to this because I'm going to review this and see what I missed because it's way more things that what melanated men need to know about themselves. Because coming from childhood, you need to know that when people do things to you, don't hesitate to speak to somebody about that. Like especially being a child. You know what I'm saying? It's not snitching if somebody does something in violation to what you know is wrong, you speak up about it. You speak up about it to somebody that you know is going to help and assist you. Don't allow people to do shit to you. I had an older cousin when I was right before I went to it might have been right when I came back, but it was when I was 7 or 8. It was like during that time uh, my 16-year-old cousin, she basically raped me because she did everything that that we do to have to do whatever when you get grown and have intercourse. You know what I'm saying? She did everything like treated me like a grown man, and I had no idea. You know what I'm saying? That kind of had me in a different space for in my life. I had to go through a lot of shit in my life as a result of that. Like, so it's the growth process and it's the learning process. We all go through something, but that's just a whole nother thing to learn from. You can come back from things because I was still blessed to, be a balanced and normal human being, even though going through things, a lot of things. So I just want to share those things. It's like what all melanated men should know about themselves has been, you know, I've been grateful to share the few things that I've shared, but it's still a few more things. I've written down a whole bunch of things, but I see that it takes more time than what I anticipated. And I don't want to hold nobody. I want people to be able to stay attentive to what is the important part, the important parts. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, KS3 Revolutionary, I apologize for interrupting you, but I just wanted to get that last part out. So you're welcome to finish your part.
Definitely always appreciate it. So I was just saying from everything that you were saying from the start all the way up to this point, if you haven't taken action on it, because there's only so much that our words can do, we all got to take action at some point in time in our lives so we can breed our own results based off of the actions that we're actually taking and the energy and effort and intention that we're actually putting towards it. You cannot expect for anything to work out for you if you're not taking action on your part. This is the time of, at least through my view, the time of maintaining manifestation momentum. So when it comes down to us putting our energy towards anything, whether it's listening to anything, watching anything, our discipline on how we intend to move forward with anything and everything, we have to make sure we are very direct and we have to be balanced on how we're moving, because it's easy to get caught up in the energy field if you're not being aware of how you're moving forward and not being aware of the action that you're taking towards certain things. If you can take action, all right, um, all alongside to things that are not good for you. So it's really now the time to just sit back and really set the foundation for yourself, like reset the foundation for yourself. And once you watch from the very beginning of this video all the way up to now's moment in time, then you'll see exactly how you'll be reshaping your foundation for yourself within yourself on how to move forward. And once you actually take action on the things that speak to you most, especially, that's exactly when you're going to breed results. This is the time of shifting the results that we receive. And I also, about like maybe a very close to now, I got an audio, audio book and ebook that's going to be coming out by the name of "Shift the Results You Receive," that speaks on a few things of this topic. I'm very close to done with it, like very close. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that. And I'm grateful for this experience that we've had today, and I'm grateful just for the
Yeah.
learning experience I've had
No,
in this moment.
my bad. You have
Please like, please, you can go. Please like and subscribe, and share if it resonates or if we can be of any assistance, because this is just a part of it. And this is a few things of what all melanated men should know about themselves. And this is going to be a part 2, part 3. Willfully, I can get on, get in with some people who are having like a larger audience, so that we could share, some of the things that I feel like, and I can give experience, like personal experiences in more detail to prove why it would be important, because I know some people that didn't know what I knew, and they're dead now. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get a chance, and I know they didn't know, because the way we were moving, if they knew, then they wouldn't have moved the way they moved. And I just learned from seeing and living and being, in the field for real. And I'm just grateful to have survived, and I want to share. I want to share. I know that this is meant for sharing. Meant for sharing. I realize that. So it is what it is. So let's get it. Anyone else want to share anything?
Yeah, so what I was about to say is like basically what he was just saying about the audio, not is an audiobook, but a ebook. Yeah, that's that's a real good idea. I think he's telling me that yesterday. That's a good idea. Because I've been working on the something called the One Life Connection, but it's like a whole group of different things. But I'm just working on it. It's got the videos left, which I'm gonna work on after this. But the main factor of it is basically, if you understand dominance, you understand what reality is, and then you'll understand when I say take what is yours. I say it in a way as if, like, think about world society, think about your power, and think about if any time before you had your full power, and as time went on, you may feel like you don't have your full power or anything. You have to take what's yours. Rather, it's you know in any form, you have to live by that. No matter what you get, no matter who you come into contact with, you can't let anybody change that, because by that they're taking your power away. And that's, especially as us being melanated men, we got to know that. We got to know that, because society is only going to keep going on the same way unless we do something to change it. And that's what it's based off of. I got like 50 words, because I live by, like, I know not many people may, but like I 50%. Like, you don't want to go too much, like do too much, because I realize the younger society, they're 100%, but like they're certain things is too much, and then the older society is like 0%. You need to be like the 50, in between that. And I'm not saying like you can't go 100% you're all. I'm saying basically like you're not too turned up and you're not too turned down. I'm not saying it's like basically take what's yours, is like, because I made it into like a affirmation book, an audio book, because I mean it like in the way of, take your dominance, take your power. This is your planet, this is your space, and you can connect, you know, by that. And that's the whole purpose of just, that's melanin, that's everything, that's your power.
Yeah, that's another show. It's all good though. You're right. But in the process of that, I agree. I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like you really, like, in the perspective of what I'm saying, in the take of I agree. Like, I totally agree. But it's you first. You have to take control of you first. That's what I'm. That's what I want to make for certain. I want to insert that once you take control of you. It's nothing else you really have to take. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because everything is a form of what you attract. Yeah, if and how I got mine, how I'm influencing mine. You see, that's a military, strategic dude right there. He gonna get what he's gonna get regardless, because that's a fire sign, and he's been raised to know that he can do and have what he wants, and that is what I support. I just don't want it to be misunderstood in the sense of, how it is. Yeah, we taking what we want because it's ours, but it's because people are going to give it to us because it's ours. We are doing things, in a spiritual sense to, get paid for that. And it's not like we ain't even talking about no. I'm not talking about no physical stuff. And he and I talk all the time. I know what we talking about. We talking about being able to take our space so we can be heard as a unit, so we can be respectfully active in the community, so that we can share the things that we've been through. Because this family right here is, to me, like, and I'm not saying that because I'm the father. I'm saying it because I know the experiences. Excuse me. I know what we've all endured as they've grown up, and how it's been a challenge and a pleasurable challenge. Because when I've learned, or I learned early, that everything that happens, it happens for a reason. So because I'm always in a more positive than negative mood, and I realize that the love that they show me, I've been able to channel that to make me be on some focus on make sure I get it done, make sure I stay in a certain space, because the way I act is the way they end up acting. They don't even have to see me. I could put on a show and I still deal with some of the stuff that they have to deal with, because it's my energy first. You know what I'm saying? And we're really responsible for our seeds' energy. Like, we really are. Like, parents, I know that we want to let them go at 18 and want to, hey, say we did what we did and all this, that, and the other. But we're responsible for their energy way past that, because whatever you did to them to start with, whatever spell you casted, whatever we did, man, we got to be responsible. Your parents are responsible for the things that you go through, like, for real. Like, it's some things we can't. I'm not saying everybody's parents are bad, because like I said, I got mad love and respect for my mom on a whole different level, because she birthed me to have this experience, and because I understand how special it is to be a human being in this time, and for her to allow me to come through her and give her the pain that she went through, and the respect to still, like, show me the best she could, even though females have their thing going on. And as a melanated man, you're going to have to really respect the fact that females have things going on, in a mental, emotional space. And, weird, really, to me, like, I know females do what they want because they pretty much got the uh, really good, hand out for them. But at the same time, it's our responsibility to reel them back in, like, for real, by starting with our daughters and our, the females that we influence. However you influence them, you know what I'm saying? However you influence them, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. And I command that my energy and my will be done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially with mine. Like, I know that it's not arrogant or egotistical to want to love, to care for, to, create for, to intend for your loved ones to be successful, and from a spiritual, psychological perspective and everything. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, if you think something wrong with it, then something's wrong with you. Like, you're supposed to want for your children to be in a better space spiritually throughout this whole experience, especially when you know what this experience is, because you co-created the experience. And it was all an agreement before the fact, but at the same time, who knows that? Who knows that? Most people don't even want to accept that this was an agreement before the fact. So those of us that do, let's move like that. But I'm going to keep on sharing what I feel our melanated should know about themselves. This is going to be like a series. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot we need to know about ourselves. We need to learn more about ourselves as we go. We're learning more about ourselves as we go. Like, it's every day I'm learning something new about myself. Like, every day. This process is ongoing. This process is ongoing. It's not going to slow down. It's not going to stop even when the casket drop. It continues to go on. Whatever you leave behind, whatever process of energy you leave, it still has to be here and deal with what you know, however, whatever you left is what they have to end up dealing with, and that's just the real process because we all dealing with something. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. You know what I mean? It's all love. I mean no harm to anybody who disagrees with some of these things because I might not have said you need the Bible, you need the Holy Quran, you need the preacher, you need the priest, you need somebody to hold your hand. You know what I'm saying? You know, you could have an influencer, you could have a coach, you could have a mentor, but if you're not willing to do what none of those people, nobody can help you if you're not willing to do some of the things that they want to share with you. Because the reason that they're coaches and influencers and things of that nature is because they more than likely did it, and you can see the result of what they did. Like me, I'm not a fitness coach, but I weighed 340 pounds. What about 4 or 5 years ago? I'm down to 195. Like and I know so, but it took me like these things when you come to terms with who you are and you're a vessel, you're the controlling factor. And man, man, tell your children, let your children know what they are. I bet you see a big difference in how they carry themselves in life and all the things that they bring to you, because my children been knowing that. You know what I'm saying? Even when they were, even when they were in Al Islam, because I came through the Nation of Islam, we've been gods. I've been knowing we've been gods. We've been gods since we've been younger, since I understood that, but I did not understand the concept of God. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just know God. That's what, and then when the stuff came about Christianity and stuff, because, the Nation of Islam, I'm from Detroit. That's what you saw everywhere. Bean pies, you saw the dudes. My father dealt with them. He had a couple of friends that was at. So when I say I didn't know nothing about religion, the Nation of Islam wasn't a religion to me. That was like a bunch of brothers who was like, I don't know, that didn't seem like a religion because that just didn't seem like a religion because you saw them out all the time. What I saw about religion and the difference of things was like them people going into a building, and I saw after I went through Al Islam, I saw, yeah, you go to pray to some place, but it's still not the same energy. It's totally different. Like all of them the same. It's just total different energy when you go on, and they go to the same energy because once you realize the history of all of them, you realize, damn, all of it's not for me because it wasn't even written for me. None of this was for us. It's like for melanated men, it wasn't for that part is not for us. Even the part of, all the other stuff. We all know that melanated we are the original creation. Everything had to dawn from us. So it doesn't matter. Why argue about any of that? Yeah, we know, it's a lot of stuff that was against us because more than likely the energy of hate came between us all and allowed us to start creating and co-creating different situations that turned against us. And some of us had so much power when we did it that it had put more energy into the experience and made us have to go through what we have to go through in order to redeem our positions. You know what I'm saying? And I am an Aries. I am a fire sign. I'm a Mars war god. You know what I'm saying? This is what I came for. I came for the spiritual warfare. So, and I know these seeds didn't come through me with an agreement, not knowing. We all knew that before we came, that we came for something bigger. And as I've grown and all these things have happened, I understand now we're in motion. So, will be done. I command that the will be done for us to achieve the things that we set forth, that we intend, that we know, that we are already in motion for doing. And I will and intend those who resonate, you know, um, who feel any kind of attraction to this, if it assisted in any kind of way, I would suggest that please like and subscribe, but apply the things that I said. Just try them. Like, try the mirror thing, try the race. Try the race. Try that. Like, just try it. If it works for you, then look, you don't lose. If it don't, you still don't lose. It's 15 minutes. You spend 15 minutes, looking in the mirror anyway. You know what I'm saying? Just for no apparent reason. You know, trying to validate something that, you know, all I'm saying is you can do that. Like, you could do that if you take it serious. It will affect you. It'll affect you more and more the more you do it. You know what I'm saying? But RACE, reflect, accept, correct, and emerge. Rise to the higher perspective of, life. And that's daily. So every time you do it, your vibration is going up. And if you're meditating on top of that, how can you lose? And if you know that you source everything you deal with is in the universe, or you have balance in the universe to basically control the things around you. You kind of control the weather around you. It could be raining and it looks sunny as hell outside to you. You know what I'm saying? It could be sunny outside. If you have a bad day, it could look rainy. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying it's a process of your thought, but you can keep it sunny on rainy days because it's an inside process. Yeah, I realize that I change. I don't even use certain words anymore, and that's another thing, brothers. Like, don't use the words that you know have the negative energy attached if you want to have a better experience. Like all the normal words that we normally use that you know have the energy attached, everybody uses these words and they mean the same thing. So the energy is attached, even if you say it jokingly, that energy is attached. The universe don't know that you mean it differently, that you joking. The universe takes it for the word and attaches energy to it. So what we have to do is check ourselves, check what we say to ourselves, check how we talk about ourselves. Love yourself and you won't be disrespecting yourself. You'll check yourself often. Before you go do something, before you go jump into a dirty pool, you'll consider to swim. You'll consider like you gotta hold your breath to swim. Like, you know what I'm saying? You won't be going doing no dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? You really will consider these things. And I feel like we're in the space right now, we're in the time right now where you don't really need to be playing no games. You know what I'm saying? Not
Yes,
at
sir.
all.
I
Not
feel
at
you on
all.
that,
You know
and
what I'm saying?
especially when it comes down to the like having to hold your breath to swim.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
shoot, it's better than being more aware before you jump in and having to jump in and then choke off of a piece of seaweed, but then you realize that you don't live anywhere close to the beach.
Yeah.
You only got one chance. You only got one chance in life. So since you know that, take the best of it because anything, especially if you live a life, associate with certain people, you have one chance. So, make the
Yeah,
most out of it.
just take it serious. Take it serious. Take it serious for this 110. I mean, enjoy yourself. Like I said, applying the things that I mentioned earlier on in this, like, you know what I'm saying, those few things. Know to love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Basic run down. You can do anything you set your mind to. Always follow your first mind. Pay attention to detail. There's no wrong answer to what your intuition confirms. Always, you're responsible for your thoughts and your actions. Do not take someone's word for anything. Always, do your research without feeling or thought. Like, don't just, oh, for real? No, don't do that shit. Feel it, think about it, and adjust yourself to make sure you have done some kind of research within inside of yourself. Always know that no one owns you, nor does anyone owe you anything. You earn what you get via the workforce, via your, you know, um, specific attracting ability. You know what I'm saying? Um, learn to meditate, learn to calm your mind, to go to the mirror for at least those 15 minutes, do the race, man. Reflect, accept, correct, and emerge for a vibrational increase every time you do it. You could do this several times a day. So like you going through something. Say you already got yourself ready for the day. You go do your thing. You get everything done, and then you go pop off your wife, go say some silly shit and just throw you all the way off. You want to drag the whole house down. You know what I'm saying? You pissed now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you, as a man, you married for any time over 1 day. No, I'm just kidding. You married over like we've been 24, 25 plus years, 26. Like together. I mean, knowing, but like married for 23 years. Like so, it shit ain't been like it's been way more up than it's been down. But when you're in a certain vibration, that down thing it feels down. You know what I'm saying? But when you know that there's no down that you can go to make you go out, because that was an agreement. We committed to the agreement, and it is what it is. So hey, that's what it is. But you do that exercise. Get in the mirror, like for real. Learn to meditate, calm your mind, and do the mirror exercise. Reflect, accept, correct, and emerge. Okay,
Yes.
and then exercise. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I think I did. But after meditate, okay, hand in hand, meditating is exercising your mind, your soul, your spirit, your vibration, your chi, like giving it a massage to stay high. Like, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with exercising your body. Even if you don't want to go to the gym, you could do push-ups in a closet. You can do sit-ups anywhere. You can do, You can run in place. You know what I'm saying? You can do jumping jacks in place. You can do, it's so many things. You could follow a 15, 20-minute YouTube video, everybody doing aerobics and all kind of stuff. It's no excuse for anything. Even if you overweight, see if you get tired in 5 minutes working out, work out for 5 fucking minutes. Get some rest, work out another 5 minutes. Consistently work yourself up to 30 minutes, work yourself up to 45 minutes, but even if it's in 5-10 minute increments, but do it. You know what I'm saying? Because you have nothing but, it's going to reward you, because spiritually, physically, when you're doing things, it helps your spirit and your physical being. You know what I'm saying? So the exercise, regularly. Intake good food and listen to positive vibes, read positive stuff. You know what I'm saying? Put positive things in your mind. Don't listen to the bullshit music. Don't let the frequency get you pulled down because the beat banging. You know what I'm saying? Nonsense being said, let it flow, because you can go get an instrumental that's banging just as hard. And if you think in positive thoughts, you can create thoughts in your head that frequency of positive will, oh man, it activates something in your experience that actually enables you to have more energy, more, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just vitalizing for me. You know what I'm saying? Never disrespect another person intentionally. Never do that. Don't take no disrespect, but don't disrespect anybody. You know what I'm saying? Know that you get what you put out. You be positive, you get positive. You get negative, you be negative. You be whatever you be, however you carry yourself is what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? And those are the basic 13. That was just a quick 13. That's why I did the number 13. I meant to mention that. But all is well. All is well. And I will that through these come across, willfully, first of all, I command that my love, my unlimited love, and my eternal power is received by those who are open to receive, who it is designed for, who it is meant for, who comes across and it affects. And so it is.
So it is.
Okay, I am Source Energy, aka God Coach King Malik, and my young kings. Thank y'all for, being here with me. If y'all want to say something after this, it's all good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You spoke.
I am one of the universe's best examples of unlimited love and eternal power, and I play no games.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Nasir McCullough, also known as Free Revolutionary. May we continue to shift consciousness, raise vibration, and reinstill self-awareness within. And I really feel like throughout this session of this episode that we've really, really achieved that. So I'm definitely grateful for that. May infinite healing and wellness be upon you and yours, and I will until you continue to enjoy every single second of your now from now on infinitely.
Coming with more. Ashe. Coming with more. Peace, love, and eternal power.